Welcome to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered, coming to you from the tundra here in Irving, Texas. You may notice it is day 22. Our deportation tracker is still at 11,310. ICE has not reported the numbers for a couple days, so I can't wait to see once they finally do another drop how many more we have coming here. And so, you know, we got a lot being deported. But we've got at least one person re-imported into the country because he should be here. This is American school teacher Marc Fogel, who was released from Russia yesterday evening after being held as a prisoner since 2021. Now, of course, you had the Trump administration negotiate his release. Joe Biden wasn't really interested in too many hostages, prisoners, anyone like that. Donald Trump is getting things done. And so you may have forgotten about Marc Fogel, considering he had been over there since 2021. So let's go through the timeline here of why Marc Fogel was a Russian prisoner since 2021 and how Donald Trump came to save him. So August of 2021, he was over there in Russia teaching American diplomats' children. He had taught at the Anglo-American School of Moscow since 2012, and he was arrested in Russia for marijuana possession. Now, it's important to note he had actually been prescribed the marijuana, still arrested, and sentenced to 14 years at the high-security Rabinsk penal colony. And so he had been just sitting there for several years until the 2024 campaign trail. Donald Trump promised this man's 95-year-old mother that he would bring her son home. And yesterday evening, another promise made, promise kept by Donald Trump. Watch.
I feel like the luckiest man on earth right now. And I want you to know that I am not a hero in this at all. And President Trump is a hero. These men that came from the diplomatic service are heroes. I love our country, and I'm so happy to be back here. And I wish I could articulate it better.
You've done beautifully, and he's got a great mother. And when I saw the mother at a rally, she said, if you win, will you get my son out? And I promised. She's 95 years old. And I said, we'll get him out. And we got him out pretty quickly.
She told me that exact words.
I remember. She made quite an impression.
And you also did. Yeah. And I'm in awe of what you've done and your team.
It's great to have you back.
So whenever you have a prisoner like that just come home, you wonder, well, why did Russia do that? What's the deal? I want to play the overall arching picture of this, the much larger picture of this. Could this be a play for peace between Russia and Ukraine? Here is President Trump talking about maybe a larger agenda when it comes to Fogel's release. Watch.
No, they were very nice. We were treated very nicely by Russia, actually. I hope that's the beginning of a relationship where we can end that war and millions of people can stop being killed. They've lost millions of people. They lost, in terms of soldiers, probably 1.5 million soldiers in a short period of time. We got to stop that war. And I'm interested primarily from the standpoint of death. We're losing all those soldiers. And they're not American soldiers, they're Ukrainian and Russian soldiers. But you're probably talking about 1.5 million. I think we got to bring that one to an end. Okay? Thank you.
So I want to remind you guys before we get into this, make sure to like this. Hit that like button, spank the like button, please, on YouTube. It'll help us in the algorithm. Make sure to comment. That will also help us because, as you know, I tell you this every day. I'm going to keep telling you until I have better news to share that we make $0 from YouTube on this show. So all we're asking you to do, it's totally free. Just like it, share it with your friends. Why not? So I just, you hear this news and you think about all of the people that Joe Biden just forgot about, who were either, again, hostages or prisoners around the world, just totally forgot about them or didn't care enough. And I want to read for you some of the mainstream media's reaction to Marc Fogel's release, because as you would expect, they've gone in like full retardation mode. Okay, so let's show ABC News. This article, the headline, U.S. to swap Marc Fogel for, apparently I'm finding out right now, we do have the name now, cybercrime kingpin Alexander Vinnik. Oh no, Russian cybercrime kingpin. Well, that sounds serious. Why are we releasing a kingpin? I mean, he could just be just a lowly cybercrime, servant. This guy's a kingpin, which means he is the worst of the worst. But I just want to remind you guys that when ABC News was writing about Brittany Griner and the remember? Oh my, we have to get Brittany Griner out of there. Brittany Griner is so important to this country. Brittany Griner plays like basketball or something on the women's team that nobody watches. We need Brittany Griner back. You'll notice I'm not using any pronouns there. I'll let you connect the dots. So let's look at ABC with Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner thrilled as Americans return in prisoner swap. So now it's just a prisoner swap. But you remember that Joe Biden traded Brittany Griner for the Merchant of Death. You remember? That was his name. His nickname was the Merchant of Death. But we're supposed to be really outraged about a cybercrime kingpin. Okay, so it wasn't just ABC. Of course, it was the New York Times as well. Today, let's see what they said. U.S. is releasing Russian cybercriminal to Moscow, officials say. Now, let's go a little bit back in time in that time machine when the New York Times was writing about Brittany Griner, because remember, cybercriminal here. Brittany Griner reacts to prisoner swap between U.S. and Russia. This is a big win, huge win. It's just a prisoner swap. I mean, they probably did. It was probably the same thing as what Brittany Griner did, which was like nothing, just a little dope. I'm sure that's what the prisoner swap was. It was like for like, right? That's totally what it was. Oh no, wait, no mention there either about the Merchant of Death, Victor Bout, Merchant of Death. I'm a little bit more intimidated, by Merchant of Death than I am some guy who had like a cryptocurrency scandal. Is that wrong? I don't know. You guys let me know in the chat, in the comments. Is it just me? Is it just me? So when it comes to all of these promises made and promises kept, Donald Trump making huge moves, obviously, with the release of Marc Fogel. And I wish we could have a camera on that 95-year-old mother who gets to finally see her son again before she's old. So like before she dies, she gets to know that her son is back on American soil. How awesome. But when it comes to the overall play of, we need world peace. We need Russia and Ukraine to settle the hell down. We need Israel and, the Palestinians to figure this out. Well, Israel and Iran to figure this out. President Trump also hosted Jordan's King Abdullah II at the White House. And I want to play some of the king praising Donald Trump for his efforts so far in the Middle East. Watch.
And if you'd like to say a few words, and thank you very much.
Mr. President, thank you very much for having us, and so short after your inauguration, I think just as a testament to what you said is a special relationship between our two countries and the personal relationship of friendship and trust between the two of us. Mr. President, I truly believe that with all the challenges that we have in the Middle East, that I finally see somebody that can take us across the finish line to bring stability, peace, and prosperity to all of us in the region. And it is, I think, our collective responsibility in the Middle East to continue to work with you, to support you, to achieve those lofty goals.
It's just that you have a strong president who people take seriously. I know. As much as the left was like, oh my God, Donald Trump's going to start World War III. And then it was your guy who ended up almost starting World War III. I know. They're like, what if Donald Trump has the nuclear codes? Like, guys, Joe Biden has no idea where he is at any given moment. I think that's a little bit more dangerous. And here you're seeing it play out once again on an even greater level. President Trump in office, and all of a sudden, the world can freaking breathe again. And so I want to play this king offering, I would say, quite an unexpected action that he says Jordan is ready to implement. Watch.
One of the things that we can do right away is take 2,000 children that are either cancer children or in very ill state to Jordan as quickly as possible, and then wait for, I think, the Egyptians to present their plan on how we can work with the president to work on the Gaza challenges.
So
I want to tell you, excuse me, wait, just please. I didn't know that what you just said, 2,000 children with cancer or other problems. And that's really a beautiful gesture. That's really good. And we appreciate it.
Now, when it comes to peace in the Middle East, well, and with America, it'll be interesting to watch how this plays out, because Hamas has announced today that they will not be returning all of the United States hostages, all of the hostages in Gaza. On Saturday, I believe, is when President Trump asked them. Benjamin Netanyahu and President Trump said, you need to return all of the hostages by Saturday. And they've just come out and said no. I would like to just remind them, President Trump gave them a warning that all hell will break loose if these hostages were not returned. And so I wouldn't test that if I were you, Hamas. I love that I'm talking like Hamas watches my program. Hamas are big fans of Sara Gonzales Unfiltered here. I'm just saying, if any of them are watching, I wouldn't test that with Donald Trump. I wouldn't do it. Okay. We've got more to come, but I want to, well, first of all, I want to remind you guys to go get our latest merch over at saramerch.com. We've got support your local ICE raids. Yep. I can't wait to roll up to an illegal alien protest wearing my support your local ICE raids hat and shirt. And I might actually just show up with the coffee cup and the support your local ICE raids coffee cup as well. And maybe a hoodie tied around me. I don't know. I might just quadruple down. Go get it at saramerch.com along with I don't really care, Margaret, shirt and coffee cup. That's just iconic. That's going to be a meme forever now. Thank you so much, JD Vance. All right. So want to remind you guys as well that, listen, if you guys have not looked into diversifying in gold, now's the time to do it. You can go talk to my friends over at Birch Gold Group, because I realize that Donald Trump is in charge of things and things seem way more stable. But the fact of the matter is that historically, gold has been the greatest hedge against inflation. And just historically, if you want to diversify, which everyone should do, that is your best bet when it comes to something that is secure and stable. So if you have not diversified into gold and silver, go talk to my friends over at Birch Gold Group. They've helped me. They can help you guys as well, especially for those of you who have a 401k or IRA just sitting around collecting dust, potentially devaluing. You can talk to them about actually transitioning that into an IRA in precious metals, and it's not going to cost you a penny out of pocket. So go get this information kit. You see, it says information kit. There's no obligation. It's literally just information. You're not signing yourself up for anything crazy. And when you do that, they're going to send you the ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era with the foreword by Donald Trump Jr. Just go text the word Sarah. That's my name. Hi, welcome. My name is Sarah. S-A-R-A, no H, because it's just, you don't say Sarah. It's just Sarah. Text my name is Sarah to the number 989898. Let them send you this. There's no obligation, no reason not to do it. What are you waiting for? That is Sarah to 989898. Welcome to the show, Matthew Marsden, BlazeTV contributor and actor and producer extraordinaire. How was my accent? Was that good?
Let's say it again.
Matthew Marsden.
It's pretty good.
Marsden. Hold on.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.
And he's doing a good job, isn't he? He's kind of being it.
He's certainly putting himself in the running.
Yep.
So, Matt, I was just talking about Hamas responding to Netanyahu and President Trump and saying, we're not returning your hostages. And President Trump had already told them, you don't want to do that. And so President Trump responded today to Hamas's announcement. Here's what he had to say. Watch.
Mr. President, when you say all hell is going to break loose, are you speaking about retaliation from
You'll find out, and they'll find out too. Hamas will find out what I mean.
Mr. President,
They're going to find out what I mean. These are sick people, and they'll find out what I mean Saturday at 12 and 12.
I don't think they should do that. I think that's a bad decision. If you're, listen, Hamas, I just said before the break, like, I don't know how many of you watch my show.
I think it's probably 0.
Listen, Hamas, if you are out there, I really don't recommend this. I mean, I'm saying this is for you, okay? I really don't recommend around and then finding out when it comes to Donald Trump. I just don't recommend that.
Look, the al-Baghdadi raid, which not many people know about. Al-Baghdadi died like a dog. Like, what people don't understand is when those guys went in, the amount of firepower that Trump sent in with them was unbelievable. Now, I'm not saying I know someone who was on that raid or don't know someone who was on that raid, but I'm going to tell you that it was...
How come you know everyone? I don't know anyone that's been on any raids. I wasn't in Black Hawk Down.
Well, that's what can I say?
Anyway,
I'll introduce you. I was going to introduce you to my friend.
Whatever.
You were in DC. You were like, I'm going and visiting like Congress.
That's true. I do.
See, I don't know anyone in well, no, it's not true. Actually, I do know.
Oh my gosh! Whatever. Keep going.
Anyway, my point is, Trump will never ever put our troops in harm's way, right? He's not going to do it. And he knows that if he uses overwhelming force, then that's one of the ways that he will preserve the lives of Americans. They need to heal yesterday.
Yeah.
And I predict, if they're not completely stupid, that you'll get all the we'll get all the hostages back by Friday. Like, if they don't, it's going to be... Look, he did this with Kim Jong-un, didn't he, before? Like, he's like, you know what, listen, you better do blah, 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 blah. And then he hit Syria, if you remember correctly. And he's like, no, boom, took them all out. He will do this as, if they don't come back, he will do it as saying, like, don't with America, because this is what you will get.
I mean, again, at this point, and I don't disagree with the decision, by the way, if that's what he chooses to do. I don't disagree with it because... At a certain point, I mean, you've already given the warning, right? Like, you've already been very clear, all hell will break loose. And now he's doubling down on it and saying, you'll find out. Okay, cool. Fafo, I guess. And so at this point, it's like, well, you guys have backed me into a corner because now I have to respond because no one's going to take me seriously if I don't. And I already said I was going to do it, which again, I don't disagree with the decision to do that. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens over the week.
Well, the other thing is what you're going to see is what America can do if the gloves are off and we have the greatest military that the planet has ever seen.
And we're actually prioritizing what we should be prioritizing.
The guy, what did he say? And what has Pete Hegseth said? They will be the most lethal fighting force ever. Yeah. I mean, good luck.
Right.
Good luck with that one. Right. It's not going to turn out well for you, Hamas.
Yeah, I don't know if they have any bomb shelters in their shacks that they have in the rubble over there, Hamas's. And by the way, I don't like... They're disgusting people, and I think it's really sad that I'm sure they're going to use human shields and that they use hospitals to like hide underneath because nobody wants to bomb the city. Like, that's all really terrible, and I'm not trying to make light of it, but that is Hamas's fault, not the fault of the United States. And if they put us in a position where we have to respond, place the blame where it goes, which is at Hamas's feet, not Donald Trump's. So I hope everyone remembers that whenever something happens, although I hope it doesn't come to that and Hamas comes to their senses before the deadline.
And by the way, it won't just be there.
No.
It's not just going to be there.
No. Oh,
It's going to hit him wherever, all over the place in their command and control, their funding. I mean, this will be, a comprehensive response.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on it. So Tulsi Gabbard is now through officially 52 to 48 vote. She was confirmed to be Trump's director of national intelligence, which I wasn't shocked, but like Mitch McConnell voted against her. The only Republican to vote against her was Mitch McConnell. Glitch McConnell, who shouldn't even be there. His brain is rebooting in the middle of talking. He's falling all the time. Can you guys just, you are so America last. Why don't you just go home to live out the rest of your days before you die, instead of trying to screw the rest of the country up with these stupid votes? So Tulsi is finally through. Now we've got Cash, we've got RFK Jr., we've got Brooke Rollins. I feel like there are a couple others that I'm forgetting, but Tulsi is officially through, and she already in an op-ed kind of wrote about her top 4 priorities on day one as director of national intelligence. And so I want to kind of go through some of these and then get your thoughts. Now, I know anything Matt says about Tulsi should be taken with a grain of salt because he gets the googly eyes whenever he sees her. Okay. So just look, he doesn't even see her right now. I'm just talking about her. And he has that look on his face. So in this op-ed, she said, number 1, to assess the global threat environment and identify where gaps in our intelligence exist. 2, deliver on President Trump's commitment to the American people to end the politicization of the intelligence community and provide focus to the IC's essential mission, which is securing our nation. 3, rebuild trust in the intelligence community through transparency and accountability. And 4, assess and address efficiency, redundancy, and effectiveness across the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. Now, I'm very happy about this pick. I don't know how you deliver on those promises day one, because a lot of that is like rebuilding things is not going to happen on day one. Rebuilding the trust is not going to happen on day one. Assessing a global threat environment and identifying where the gaps exist is not going to happen on day one. So I'm hoping that there's a little bit more of like a plan to address those things, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I have a lot of faith in this pick. If there's anyone who understands the corruption that can happen in this bureaucracy, it's obviously her, because it happened to her.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of when you get put up for something like this, when you get put up for one of these big roles, one of these secretary roles, whether it would be Pete Hegseth, immediately the inbox starts filling up with whistleblowers and people going, "You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe what was going on." So I think that she's clearly spoken to a bunch of people that said, look, here's the problem. Here's this problem. Here's that problem. I mean, clearly they're going to go through and they're going to look at the budget. They're going to do the same thing what Doge is doing all around. They're going to, and it's going to be a process. But again, I think that it's amazing, and this shouldn't be taken lightly. And I joke about Tulsi because I said before that I thought she would have been a good shot for the vice president pick, but she would have been a really, really formidable opponent. You're looking at me like, yes, go on, keep on. I can see you looking. Come on, I do not hold the fact that she's a babe against her. I do not.
There are a lot of them in Trump's administration.
There are, and listen, I was saying this earlier on, and a lot of good-looking dudes as well.
It's a good-looking. This is like America is back, and listen. It's a good-looking crew, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and
there's something to that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, they're not a bunch of overweight, retarded people who don't even know what gender they are.
Yeah, no, I mean this is America's back, but my point is, let's not forget, because we're focusing on her getting in and what kind of a job she's going to do and whatever. This is a gigantic blow for the left. It is such a massive blow because she was the future for them. And that's just gone.
Yeah.
And now there's a lot of people that are looking and they're going, well, hang on a minute. She's a reasonable person. And we shouldn't discount that. the pendulum swing of what's going on in the USA right now, with people going, well, hang on a second, I consider her to be like moderate, and she's with Trump. Like, it just defangs a lot of the arguments against the administration.
Same with RFK.
Same with RFK. I mean, you can just, but those two in particular, because they were both considered to be moderate Democrats. And
moderate Democrats are not welcome in that party anymore.
They're not. Then, I mean, this is where they are, which is what I'm saying is great. Yeah. And I think that with the things that Donald Trump is doing, the cuts that he's doing, Elon as well wasn't a right winger.
No,
so
we're gonna get to him in a little bit.
Yeah, so you got to look at that, and I'm trying to look like long term, not only for the health of the country, but the health of the Republican Party. And it hasn't been as strong, I don't think, in my lifetime. Maybe in the with Reagan, but I think that the opportunity to bring people together is stronger more than ever. And I think, and I mean, I don't mean bringing people together as in let's compromise with the left. I think these are sensible picks. There are sensible things that they're talking about, like balancing a budget, all the things that we actually think about. How crazy this is. We didn't think that this was ever possible. Even when Trump got inaugurated.
Well, I would say this. It's obviously possible. We just didn't think that anyone would actually execute it. Yeah.
Would do it. I mean, we know that budget, but you know what I mean?
I do it every day in my house. I know you guys can do it.
Yeah, but there was never any indication. Do you remember we'd always say, well, why would they do it? Because it would be cutting off the nose to spite their faces. And here we have, like I said, you try and kill somebody, and it's going to kind of radicalize him a little bit. And he's going to go, you know what? I'm taking a blowtorch to it. And the great thing about that is he is taking, it's not like just being destructive. He's being constructive by taking these things away, which is amazing. I mean, I get disappointed if there isn't like a major announcement every day, right?
Isn't that so funny? I just, every day, I'm like, we are living in the most insane timeline. It's crazy. Yeah. I have a heart. I'm like, and I keep telling my kids, this is like, there is going to be a very large chapter dedicated to the time that you're living in right this second. And then it's like, well, I guess it depends on who writes the history books, but I feel pretty confident that we've taken a good grasp of all of that. And no telling what it will say, but regardless, this is going to take up this is going to be a whole unit that your children are going to read one day. Yeah,
and on multiple different levels, and we haven't even seen the impact of it. I mean, just on a governance level, someone coming in and taking a blowtorch to the waist, that's one thing. The impact that's going to have across all those different things and into society is going, like you said, it's going to be studied for years and years and years, because we haven't even gone into education. Right. We all know. Right. I mean, we all know that is a complete disaster. We haven't even gone into the Pentagon. I mean, these are like monument. It is like a refounding of the country, and it's fascinating to be watching something that is a positive rather than watching the decline of a nation, which is what we were doing over the last 4 years, right? And we were sitting there going, and they're going to steal the election as well, and there's no chance, and then that's it. What are we going to do? I bought my car because I was like, I need to be able to get away from the zombies, like it was like doomsday prepping, and then all of a sudden, the golden age is back.
Sun shines again.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I know. Okay, so on that note, then let's go ahead and take a quick break. And then when we get back, I want to talk about this, speaking of Elon Musk. Not only is Elon Musk still uncovering the most wild, insane stuff that is happening in our federal government, but we also have the Doge committee that is meeting and going through hearings as well. So let's get into some of that when we come back. So as I mentioned, we had our first Doge hearing in the Doge subcommittee, and you have Marjorie Taylor Greene chairing it. And I know my congressman, good friend of the show, Brandon Gill, was in it as well. But you also have at least one Democrat who admitted, by the way, that he was only on it to like harass the Republicans because he has no interest in, I don't know, he has no interest in saving you, the taxpayer, some money. So you should do with that what you will. Okay, that's wild to me. But I want to play one of these guys, one of these yahoos, these chuckleheads, Congressman Robert Garcia from California, who started talking. Listen, TDS is a real thing. EDS is also a real thing with Elon derangement syndrome. Here's some of Garcia. Watch.
Now, I find it ironic, of course, that our chairwoman, Congresswoman Green, is in charge of running this committee. Now, in the last Congress, Chairwoman Green literally showed a dick pic in our oversight congressional hearing. So I thought I'd bring one as well. Now, this, of course, we know is President Elon Musk. He's also the world's richest man. He was the biggest political donor in the last election.
They keep trying to like name him as president, thinking that that's going to be a thing. They're like, oh, we got him. We're saying that he's running the country, as if the president has never had the power to delegate responsibility to people. And it's just the funniest thing to me.
They're just absolutely pathetic. I mean, do they think that it's a winning strategy to go against the guy that is saving the taxpayer money?
It's so crazy to me that they think that this is going to be the optics of that. People are going to be like, yeah, I'm on your side.
Yeah,
I want to pay more.
I mean, like, so is the richest man in the world. Who cares?
And who
I
cares?
I don't care.
Right.
Like, to me, the richest man in the world is obviously good with money.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I'd rather him be good with my money. And what I love as well is they go, this guy is so stupid. I'm like, I wish I was that stupid to be a billionaire that can make rockets that get caught by arms.
Right.
They get caught by arms. It's amazing. He's the only one that can do it. But I mean, it's always California as well, isn't it? I'm so glad that I'm not there anymore. But it's like him and Shifty Schiff. They are, and Swalwell. It's like the rogues gallery of Muppets, right? They're complete idiots. And he thinks, oh, I'm going to do a dick pic. I'm like, whatever happened to decorum? Like, what is this? You know, they're on a losing streak. And here's the thing. It used to be that they would say President Elon Musk, and then the entire press would parrot it, right? It's not happening anymore.
No.
It's not sticking. People are not. If Trump does it, it does.
Well, yeah, that's true. The places where it's sticking are the places where no one's reading anymore.
Right. Nobody cares.
Nobody. Those places are too far gone. But the American people are like, guys, no, we just voted for this. Like, this was part of the reason that I went into the ballot box in November and voted for President Trump, because he literally told me he was going to create the Department of Government Efficiency and then make government more efficient. This is not sticking at all, especially when you hear of, you mentioned earlier, every day there's just like more stuff that comes out there. You're just like, yes, yes, yes. Well, yesterday, President Elon revealed that we are sending Social Security checks to like a lot of dead people. Watch.
You know, there's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone who's 150? I don't. Okay. They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out. So, you know, that's a case where, like, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. Or they should be very famous. One of the two.
I think they're probably, I don't think you live until 150. And so they're going through all of this, you know, the Social Security situation. And so it's like, you can reasonably expect that every single federal agency, every single federal department is mismanaging your money. Every single one. I don't even care if it started out as being well-intended. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, this is how all of these departments are run.
Well, and again, it's more than that. The Democrats, think about this. The Democrats last year or in their cycle said, we're going to hire 80,000 more IRS agents to come after you, right? It's to come after you. That's all that was. They weren't concerned with someone being 150 years old and still claiming.
Right.
Now, what is the easier thing to do and the most economical thing to do? Is it to hire 80,000 agents, or is it to say, if you are over 100 years old, we're going to at least review we're at least going to review whether or not you're alive. I mean, it's not that difficult, is it?
100 is pretty generous, Matt.
That's what I'm saying. He's saying 150.
That's very generous, because most people don't even live until they're 100. And yet you have MSN. I'm reading this headline. You'll love it. Doge sets sights on Social Security target Trump promised to fight for. So now they're trying to say Donald Trump claimed that he was fighting for your Social Security. And yet here's President Elon over here tinkering with the agency that Donald Trump said he was going to keep for you. It's like, that's not what's happening at all.
But it's also like, if you want to, look, if
you want to keep Social Security, you got to root out the corruption. We don't have enough money for it to survive otherwise.
Social Security, we are not going to see it unless they do this anyway. I'd written that off. Anyway. And now there's, oh no, you know what? There's somewhere, there's going to be this person that's going to get up like, Michael Jackson's Thriller and go, oh, I'm 151 this year and they're cutting off my Social Security. And I'd love to see how many. Look, the dead people voted, dead people got money. I will guarantee you the people that are getting the money from that are not Republicans. 100% guarantee.
Yeah.
Right. So what we're seeing now, which we always kind of knew, but this is like on a different level. I mean, it's on such a different 150 and taking money, all the fraud. But what they're worried about is this. This is what's going to happen. All this is going to be flushed out. Right. Let's put the optics to one side. Right. The optics of all this, like you said, I mean, how dare you, Elon, save me money? Oh, I'm really angry. You're like, what are you talking about? And then what's going to happen is they're going to break down the voting. Like, that is going to come. They just haven't got there yet. And that is the nuclear button for the left, because they know that once that fraud's gone, and it's coming, guys, like he's going to get to that. They are certainly not going to win the next two elections, at least the next two elections.
Oh, no. Don't break my heart like that, Matt. Oh, no. What will we do without them, like...
Cheating
and transing our kids and all of the other things that they're doing. Oh, no.
It was, the funny thing is, Sarah, it was all lies. We sat here. How many times did we sit here on this and on the old show and go, who is pushing this? Like, I don't know anybody that is down with the transit. I've never, well, I did come from Hollywood, so that's not true.
That's like all of them.
But like normal people were like, what is this? It's the same thing with like Pride Month. Mm-hmm. Like, even gays I know are like, I'm not really down with this anymore, you know? So and we're seeing it now all going through USAID, coming back in, undermining the system, but funding all these other media entities that are pushing a narrative that everyone's like, what is going on? And again, as we always say, we are too busy working and being productive, which, by the way, we shouldn't have been, because they took all our money anyway.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we were literally working for this, and they were undermining us all the time.
Yes. So I want to play one more thing that they're trying to President Elon and all of these new terms that they're coming up with and hoping that they stick. Let's play Chuck Schumer's new. He thought really, really hard about this one. He thinks it's very clever. I want to see what you think about it, Matt. Watch.
Meanwhile, Americans woke up this morning to bad news for their bank accounts. They woke up to a grim reality that Donald Trump is not going to keep his promise to lower costs. Americans woke up to an era of Trumpflation. And unfortunately, this is only the beginning. On Doge.
Trumpflation. Did he really say Trumpflation?
Homeboy, it's day 22, first of all, okay? Second of all, no, you can't do what we did with Bidenflation. It's the in. It doubles because it's Bidenflation. You can't, the Trumpflation. I'm like, you guys are so bad at this and I love it.
Here's the other thing. Honestly, and I'm going to ask the viewers now who are watching this. If Elon Musk had been born in the United States, the way he's going, would you vote for him? Because I would. I'd be totally down with the guy that's cutting everything and running everything very
that's
well.
Fair. I'd have to I'd
you know
need
what
him
I'm
to
saying?
have better climate policies and stuff that I very much disagree with him on. He's got transhumanism
Look, I think it's the same
pro-life
thing.
and
Yeah, but I think it's the same thing as Trump, right? When everyone said, "Oh, Trump was this, Trump was that," and he, as he got into the job, he moved more. But my point is they're going, "Oh, President Elon, the things that you're talking about would appeal to the left, right?" But we're talking about balancing the budget, having rockets, living on Mars, doing all these other things. I'm like, oh yeah, President Elon would be the worst thing in the world. Like, what are you trying to say? Like, he's not driving us into a ditch. He's saving us money.
also you guys loved him 10 seconds ago. He was your hero 10 seconds ago. I know we got to go to break. I will just say on that note, I don't think I shared this on the show. I wrote a thing on X, but when Steven and I were in Vegas, we were at a spa and I was in the women's area, and the women that were in the spa with me were like, "Oh, our friend has to sell her Tesla because of Elon Musk." And the girl's like, "Oh, but still couldn't figure out but why?" And he's, "Because he's a Nazi." And I'm like, "Ma'am, I'm just trying to enjoy my spa day." What? It's just crazy. It's you guys loved him 5 seconds ago and now he's a Nazi. Wow, what a world we live in. All right, we've got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. So apparently, dick is the word of the day. Have you heard?
I haven't heard.
Okay.
Although I'm all for it.
Is that a normal word that they say in the UK?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's just-
Like they'll never say, you wouldn't, apart from there was a famous highwayman called Dick Turpin. You would never ever call anyone Dick. You just wouldn't.
As a
Richard
insult?
Short, you wouldn't say Dick.
Oh, yeah. I've never quite understood
An insult
that.
you would.
Yeah. I've never quite understood that. So I want to play CNN's Anderson Cooper, who apparently realized that this was the word of the day and decided they are totally broken from all of the success that Donald Trump has had in his mere weeks as the president. Watch.
It's 23 days in here, guys. 23 days. You're talking about 2.3 billion that was saved last year. These guys are saving 2.3 billion a day.
Right, but
it's incredible.
That's what they're saying. But where's the proof?
You're waiting. You're not going to be satisfied till he shows up with 10,000 pages.
But he's 10,000 pages.
Yes.
He's giving very specific things,
yes,
but he's not actually giving any evidence of that.
It's all going to come because what they also said was, if we have to go to Congress, we'll go to Congress.
Right, but
we'll show where it is.
Some of the details that have come out, like the $59 million spent on luxury hotels, it's actually not.
You're talking about the FEMA money that was abused for migrants.
Yeah.
FEMA money for migrants, that's okay now?
No, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay. Don't put words in my mouth.
So would you stop that? Would you stop that process?
Don't be a dick. The portrayal, what I'm saying is the portrayal
it's a
by
reasonable
him is
question.
just not factually accurate. He's talking about luxury hotels. I'm not as big. Yeah. Look, I was in Hurricane
Until he sends you a
I
personal
saw what
text,
FEMA
you're
does.
not gonna believe it. I get it.
So the argument is, okay, but are they really luxury hotels?
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
But prove to me what constitutes a luxury hotel, huh? Prove it to me. Oh, you're gonna ask me a question? Don't be a dick. It is unreal how broken these people. I can't wait to see them on day 100.
Well, I mean,
We curled up in the fetal position.
think about the argument.
Tax money. I can't take it anymore. I love paying taxes. I want to do it more, please.
Well, the truth is for the majority of these people that they are benefiting from it. That's what you got to remember, and we aren't. So they are. So they don't mind. Now you figure out why they don't mind paying taxes is because they know it's like a slush fund that's going around and actually funding all the things that they really want to fund. And by the way, why are they called NGOs when they're funded by the government?
Right.
I'm like,
It's almost like that's how it was set up to be a money laundering
so don't look.
scheme.
This is a
No. It's non-governmental.
No. Don't look at us. But did you notice how he just didn't deal with the question?
Yes.
Like, what do you want? Do you want Elon to come along with like barrowfuls of gold coins like Scrooge McDuck and go, there's your $1 billion that I saved, and pile it all up outside of Anderson Cooper's like multi-million-dollar compound?
Right.
You know, I mean, it's so stupid. They can't take it. They can't take. There's two things, right? They can't take the fact that they're doing such a good job. That's the first thing, because inside they're like, ah. And secondly, the funds are being cut off for all the little projects that they love. And so it's like you said, it's just going to get worse for them and better for us.
Way better for. I love the next 4 years. So on that note, let's play Representative Maxine Dexter, who they were holding a rally. This was an anti-Donald Trump President Elon rally, and I don't really know what to make of this. Watch.
I've been told I have 30 seconds, so I am going to tell you that we do have to. I don't swear in public very well, but we have to Trump.
Ma'am, you want to have sex with Donald Trump?
Please don't tell my children that I just did that.
I don't think you should tell your husband either. I think that would be really awkward to tell your husband that you want to have sex with someone else. Whew.
You're not my type. I'm sorry. You're just not good looking enough.
That's exactly.
Maybe Eric Swalwell will have you, but not me. I like babes, beautiful babes, beautiful babelicious babes.
It's good.
What a time to be alive.
Friend.
I mean, it's just unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, it's just keep the winning coming.
I would just say, I mean, wow. A wild way to find out that the Democrats secretly want